This is the pilot episode of the Power Healthcare Hour recorded on September 1st, 2020. I'm the host, Greg Beaumont, and any views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of my employer. Moving on to number two, I often hear that Power BI Premium is for view-only licensing. It can be used for view-only licensing, but if you own Premium, it can do a lot more than just allow for view-only users. It's really not just a licensing construct that's designed to give large volumes of people view-only permissions. When it first launched, that's primarily how it was used. But there's a lot more you can do with it, and a lot of customers have unused capacity that they could leverage to get additional value. So for example, with Power BI Premium, at the data visualization layer, you not only get those view-only users, but you also get paginated reports. And paginated reports, that is full-blown SSRS technology built right into Power BI. It is reporting services reports. And typically the use cases for that are going to be either something that needs to be printed out, where they're going to be printing out multiple pages of information that needs to be paginated at the bottom and designed for printability. Or maybe you have a bunch of existing reporting services reports that you want to migrate to the cloud. You could do that. There's a migration tool you could use that allows you to do that without having to rebuild all of those reports in Power BI. Also, Premium gives you the ability to use Power BI embedded as a platform as a service, or PaaS product. So you can effectively take content from Power BI and embed it in custom applications. You can even embed it externally to your customers. So in a healthcare scenario, perhaps you want to put some charts and graphs into a portal that you've designed for your patients. That's something that you could do with Power BI Premium. Additionally, at the semantic layer, with Power BI Premium, you get extremely large data sets. And this would be large tabular models, or what they might have called cubes with the older multidimensional OLAP technologies. With Premium, really the only constraint is the amount of memory that you own, or RAM that you own within your Premium node for those large data sets. And for what I would call enormous data sets, there's also alternative modeling techniques in order to achieve limitless scale by integrating technologies such as Azure SQL DB or Azure Synapse. Also with Power BI Premium, you get XMLA connectivity. Now, that sounds really techy. What it really means is that you can expose that analysis services model to tools outside of what you get within Power BI as a software as a service. So if you want to take a third-party data visualization tool and connect it to your data model and build your reports in a third-party data visualization tool, but host the data in Power BI, you can do that because your tabular model is within Power BI, and you're not locked into our technology stack. Also, with Power BI Premium, you get more frequent refreshes for your data models, where latency is going to be a requirement. At what I would call the data warehouse, data mart, database layer, with Power BI Premium, you get more robust data flows. So I'll talk about it in a little bit, but with Power BI Pro, you can do some data flows, but with Premium, you can do data flows with larger volumes of data. You can do joins, you can do unions, you can do more advanced transformations, and it's much closer to an enterprise grade tool. This is being recorded on September 1st, so I do want to qualify that at this point, for enterprise grade transformations, I would still recommend doing your ETL in Azure Data Factory. Additionally, with Premium, you get Azure Data Lake integration, so that when you're working with those data flows, the results of those packages effectively get stored in an Azure Data Lake, and you could even connect to that Azure Data Lake and pull it out of Power BI if there was a desire or need to do so. And then you also get AutoML, which is the machine learning capability that's built into Power BI, where you can actually build machine learning models right within Power BI when you're using Power BI Premium. Moving down to that ETL and ELT layer with Power BI Premium, you not only get those robust data flows, but you also get Azure ML integration. From my perspective, this is a fantastic value add. I'd add the Azure Cognitive Services to that too, because that's basically just Azure ML models that are hosted as a service by Microsoft to do things like sentiment analysis and language detection, those sorts of things. So what that means is that you can essentially have your data science team publish machine learning models to Azure or use Azure Cognitive Services. And then your business users can just run data right through those models without having to write any code. So they can connect to a machine learning model and then specify which field maps to which feature within the machine learning model, and then automate it, schedule it, and everything will just run without having to write code or connect to APIs or do anything fancy. So definitely something we might want to cover in a future discussion, but a lot of these things are way beyond view-only users. And if you own Power BI Premium, you can be doing some of those things to get more out of your existing investment.